bling and hit me up, cause you know they really fly. Still hit the switch, red light yellow, I'm on gold now. Hey y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to my channel, Blinx by Liz. Today I'm going to show you how I made these Bling Crocs, which were K-pop themed. If you have any questions, just leave a comment. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget I do a giveaway on the last Friday of every month for my supporters. So if you show love, I'll show love. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so step one, you always want to sand your Crocs so that your adhesive can stay better. I personally use a drill that I bought from my local beauty supply. It was about $30 or so. I know they sell them on Amazon, so that's also an option. If you don't have that or you just don't want to use that, you can also use a sand block or a piece of sandpaper. Just make sure that you're sanding the Crocs to remove that top layer so your bling can stay when you apply the adhesive. As you can see, side by side, there's a film on the top, so sand your Crocs. Step two, so you want to apply some type of a rubbing alcohol after you're finished sanding your Crocs to clean them off, and also when the adhesive is applied to your Crocs after you do the rubbing alcohol, it creates a stronger bond. So make sure you apply the rubbing alcohol. This particular one I found in Walmart and it was about $2 and some change. All right, on to the next step. So I used a new diamond trimming this time on the top of my Crocs. On my last video, I know I said I was going to use the diamond ribbon on all of my Crocs, but I wanted to be a little different and I just wanted to see how this would look. So I like the turnout. I found these on Amazon and they came in, I believe, 1 yard or so. They were about $11, I think. I'm going to attach the link in my description. What I did was I measured it out. I applied 2 of these on each Croc at the top just to kind of make it a little thicker. If you have seen my previous videos, the diamond ribbon wrap is a little bit thicker. So I went ahead and applied 2 strips of this one. For this part of the Crocs, I'm using 2 separate glues just to help the diamond trimming stay at the top because I like my Crocs, again, to be extremely durable. I want you guys to be able to wear these for a long period of time, not just 1 or 2 times. But I used the blue and black bottle of glue that you see me using is Loctite Super Glue Ultra Gel, and the other bottle, which is orange and green, is the Gorilla Super Glue Gel. And both of them work really well. One recommendation I would say is when you apply it, just give it a day or so to dry, only because it doesn't dry as instant as the other glue that I use, which was the Aleene's, and I'm still going to be using that glue, but for this larger part of Bling Crocs, I would say give it a day or so. Side note, I hope you guys subscribe to my channel. If you didn't, go ahead and hit that button, please, because I have a video where I made my own charms for Bling Crocs, and in this particular video, I'm going to make me some more charms, which you'll see, and I used that same method from the last video to make the charms for this pair of Crocs, and it's using these glues. In the last video, it was a different glue, but this glue is pretty good. I recommend it 100%. Keep something handy nearby because when this glue dries, it does dry a little crusted, which is noticeable but not dramatically noticeable, but you still want to wipe the excess glue once you're finished. Okay, so this is the diamond trimming that I'm going to apply to the edges. And before I do that, I want to apply the charms to my Crocs because you may not need to apply trimming on the entire edge of the Croc if you have different charms in the way. So I'm going to sort out how I want my Crocs to look, and I usually don't record this part. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll see I don't normally record this. But I wanted you to see kind of how I designed this pair. So these charms that I'm using, I made using that glue I referenced earlier, and this was just the best way for me, in my opinion, how I wanted to do it. I noticed that when I was shopping around for some K-pop charms, I didn't see very many, but the ones that I did see were just ridiculously priced. Like I seen one that was selling the BlackPink group K-pop charms for $4 for one charm. That's ridiculous, and I could just make my own and it would just be a unique design for me. So I prefer that. I prefer to be different, so I went ahead and made my own. See, it says K-pop stand, but another reason why I don't like to record this part is because I will change the design real quick, just like that. I didn't like how the stand was so far off, so I changed it. And they're probably going to change again in this video, but that's just how I do it. So all of these charms that you see me using, I made these with that glue that I showed you earlier. And I believe it's about 3 charms in there that I didn't actually make. But the charms that you see that are BlackPink K-pop group themed, I actually ordered those from Amazon. They were pins that go on your Letterman jacket, and I just cut the pins off on the back and I glued them on. So I may actually make another video, I'm thinking about it, but this glue that I mentioned is the perfect thing for this project. But the video that I referenced where I made my own charms, the only main difference is the glue. I used the resin glue in that video. So I don't know, there may be another video dropping soon. Subscribe and you'll find out, child. So there's my process of applying my charms. And if you pay close attention in the next frame, they're actually going to be a little bit different again, as you can see. So now we're going to apply the diamond trimming. And if you remember when I mentioned you want to apply your charms first because the trimming may not need to go on the entire edge of the croc. So once I show you an up close version, you'll see that there's small gaps in between this trimming to allow space for the charms I applied. And I also said that I was going to still be using the Aleene's glue. I do like to use this glue. It's a metal and jewelry glue and it works pretty good. It dries pretty fast. It does dry clouded and it also has a little bit of crust when it dries. So remember to wipe the excess once you're finished, but you carefully apply it to the edge and then you apply your diamond trimming. And in my opinion, it just gives it more of a finished, clean look. Now, this is a project that you're doing, so there's no wrong or right way to do it. If you don't want to apply the trimming, you don't have to, but this is just how I do it for mine. And as I apply the diamond trimming, because this part is a little bit harder for me, I just cut the diamond trimming into small sections so it's easier to maneuver and apply, considering the glue starts to dry within seconds. I purchased the Aleene's glue from Amazon and I've also bought some from Walmart. They're very inexpensive and usually come to a package. And I'll definitely attach the link in my description. This is a good glue to start with when you're first beginning on Bling Crocs or any other type of crafting project with metal. It's a pretty good glue. And in this particular pair, I did 2 sets of trimming around the edge. I normally will do 1 trimming, but this one I did 2 just because it fit the look that I was going for, because this particular pair of Bling Crocs has 2 primary colors. So I'm going to try to offset each color by doing the opposite color on the inner diamond trimming. And this was applied using the same technique I used on the outer diamond trimming. I cut smaller sections and applied it as I went, so that way it's easier to maneuver. So there's the pink inner trimming, and I'll show you what it looks like on the other shoe with black inner trimming. Really cute and shiny and popping. So just as a reminder, I did make all of these charms except for that smiley face, but I just want you to know this is doable. You can make this. Save your money. We in a recession, child. So next we're gonna be adding our bling, and I purchased all of my bling from Amazon as of right now. Both of those are purchased from Amazon. You also want to make sure you get some E6000 glue. I find that it holds the strongest in my opinion. If you have any recommendations for any other glue, let me know in the comments. I'll check it out and let you know how it works, but for now I'm sticking with E6000. So as you apply your bling, you'll see that there is kind of a pattern to apply it in. You want to try to keep in that pattern, because if not, you're going to start to have spaces or holes. And unless you're some type of an expert engineer, you're still going to have some spaces and holes as you go, because the charms that you applied are not evenly applied throughout the shoe. So the holes and the spaces may still appear. No big deal, because there is a solution. So what you want to do is, when you buy your rhinestones, you also want to buy a set of rhinestones in the same color but comes in different sizes, so that way you can fill those gaps or those holes that you may create as you're going. And I do want to mention, as you're filling in the spaces or the holes, don't worry if you can still see some, because the shoe is not going to be perfect. This is handmade, and whoever is accepting this from you has to understand that you're not a factory that can make things almost perfectly. So there may still be some holes in it, but just try to get it as best as you can, but don't hang yourself up on it. Unless it's dramatic, I promise you they can't see what you see. Switch, like they hollered out on House Party. So I don't usually record myself doing the other shoe, but because this particular shoe had 2 different colors, I went ahead and showed you guys how I do this one. If you look closely, you can see that pattern that I mentioned as far as how you apply it. And I'm just gonna tune out for maybe about 30 seconds or so. I'll hurry up and finish this croc, and then I'll show you how I decorate the backs of the strap of the croc. So don't go nowhere, we not finished. Stay here for about 30 seconds and we'll be moving on to the next step. 30 seconds later and I'm back. There they are side by side. If you're still here with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because you're a true supporter and I want you to win one of my giveaways. Okay, so this is crystal ribbon wrap. I purchased these from Amazon, and I'm going to once again be offsetting the color by applying the opposite primary color. And as you see, all I did was measure, and I went ahead and snip, and I apply it. This comes with a sticky adhesive on the back, so you don't have to buy anything or purchase anything. Just make sure you wiped it down with the rubbing alcohol we mentioned earlier. When you apply it, just go ahead and squeeze it with your hand a little bit, kind of hard, put some weight on it, and it should stay just like that. So I'm gonna do my next crock and I'm gonna apply the ribbon to the back of this crock, apply some weight on it, some elbow grease, as my mama used to say back in the day when she used to have me wipe the windows, apply that elbow grease and it should stay. So we're all finished now. If you decide to do this design or if you do some bling crocs based upon my instructions, I would really love to see it. So you can tag me. I'm all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Again, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bling and hit me up, cause you know they really fly. Still hit the switch, red light, yellow, I'm on go now.